It's going to show the backbone of Drush Recipes, which is cooking. And so what cooking is it's just running a recipe and applying it successfully. So we can do drush, and then we do add a target, so in this case DD1, and we'll use the example that it gives of DR security. So we're going to do cook DR security. You can see before it runs it, it's going to tell me exactly what it's read off of this recipe file. So it's going to enable another recipe called DR security core settings, and then after it does that, it's going to do the rest of its routine, which is uninstalling PHP and enabling sekkit and paranoia. So I'm going to cancel that for a second, and instead we're going to do that other recipe references to show you. We could just call that one recipe. Part of the recipe specification allows for basically infinite nesting, so you could throw a whole bunch of recipes into each other and build upon their functionality. Once you confirm that you want to cook something, it then uses whatever the target that you're pointing at, or if it's local to a site, you go into the Drupal directory and run this command. It'll then execute all of those drush commands against what you've told it to do. To find commands to run, it's just drush DLR. You see we can get into some more sophisticated ones. There's a corporate security one. So we do drush at, we'll do DD2 as our target, cook, and then we'll look at DR security corp, which is much more sophisticated. All right, so this builds upon the baseline security settings for core that are recommended. Then it adds in the disabling PHP filter. Then it adds in this security OWASP, which helps meet OWASP protections, which has to do with automated logouts, review modules, session limiting, honeypot, which is great for catching spam, things like that. And then it goes into a whole bunch of other modules that involve password security and things like that, things good for corporate security policy. And then just by saying yes, I can call up and run all of these drush commands. So instead of a cryptic module that goes and does this, or just the fact that I knew to run these drush commands, we can now give these tested security settings that are enhancements above Drupal core to another person, and then have other people react to them and build upon them. So it's part of the success of Drush Recipes is when you start to have the community be able to inform what the best versions of a site are at different levels. So it's just another thing that we can collaborate on. You can also add multiple things to cook at once. So we can do DR security, and then we can do core above core, I believe is another one I have in there. And see, I typed it wrong because I didn't put cook. Thought I was going to run two commands. So I'll do cook. And so we can see, hey, core above core goes and gets these modules and enables them, and then it runs the DR security one as well. There's some other more advanced recipes that can be cooked in here. If we look in DLR, that have the ability to choose between what you're going to select as far as conditional statements. There's also a thing called Mad Libs that kind of fill in the blank with what the defaults are as you go. And between the two of those, you can build some pretty complex things that all work together. DRSI is not one that I will finish running, but we'll just look at what it is. So if we do that, none cook DRSI. DRSI is a Mad Lib. And so you would actually fill out these values, which then would pre-populate a drush si command to go and run. So you can do some pretty advanced things with this, stuff it into other logic systems, provisioning formats you have, but keep all your Drupal functionality tight-knit and share with a community of people.